Hi and welcome to my latest review, and today I will be looking at the Garmin Forerunner 25 and here you can see the watch. You're not actually going to see my face today, you're just going to see my watch and its functionality. So I've always been into sport, and I started running probably about 15 years ago, but I've never had a training watch, but I've sometimes used my mum's or my husband's one, and I really like them, but I just couldn't really justify the cost. And then I got one for my birthday from my husband to help me get back into running after my second baby, and I'm really enjoying it. So I wanted to just go through and look at the functionality and give you a bit of a demo. It's very much an entry-level watch, but I have actually been quite surprised at how much it does. So this watch is billed as easy to use, and it's an easy to use GPS running watch with smart notifications, and it tracks distance and pace and calories, and it would do heart rate if you buy the additional strap, which I don't have, and it also counts steps and calories, and reminds you when you need to move if you want to, and it has up to 8 hours battery life with GPS, or 8 weeks in watch or activity tracking mode. So that's quite a lot, and one of the things that has actually put me off buying one of these watches in the past is that the battery life has been really pretty poor. So if you want to have something on it like your steps and see how many steps you do every day, you'd end up having to kind of charge your watch every day, which, you know, on top of charging your phone and your tablet and everything else, just sort of seemed a bit too much of a hassle. So really, they have really improved the battery lives on these newer watches. And as with all Garmin watches, you can save and plan and share your activities at Garmin Connect. And you do that by linking the watch either to your phone or to your computer, and then synchronizing all the information that your watch has collected. And one of the things that also this watch does, and I haven't tried it yet, but I really am quite excited to do it, is it does live track. So if I take my phone out on a run, I can link the watch to the phone, and then anyone who follows me or who I choose to let follow me, they can actually see where I'm running in live time, although I'm pretty slow, so they could probably just, you know, look outside the house or something. But yeah, it's quite a cool function. So I'm going to demo the watch. You can find a full spec online. I'm not really going to go through everything with that. I just wanted to show you how easily you can use the watch and what you can actually see on it. So I'm not going to go through like the full spec and its weight and all that kind of thing. You can find that very, very easily online. So the first thing I will look at is the light, which is quite cool actually, because I don't think you'll be able to see it come on. Oh, you can see a little bit on the camera. It stays on until you turn it off, which is really good because I hate it when lights go off too quickly. Then you've got this button here, which will scroll through all the information. So that's obviously the battery, the time. So this is how many steps I've done today. That's my goal. That's how far I've gone in kilometres today. That's how many calories I've burnt. And that is the date. And you can choose how you'd like that set up. So I like keeping it on my steps. Now, if I were to go for a run, I can press the run button. Now you'll see run walk come up. That's actually a run mode, which I'll go through, which is what I've got it set up at the moment. So this will say wait for GPS. It's not going to find GPS because I'm inside, but if I were outside, the bars would go up until eventually it was full and it would say ready, and then it would let me start when I wanted to start the run. So that's just going to keep going, but as you can see here, there's run options. And if you scroll down, you can do different run modes. So the one I had it on was run walk. So I'm actually getting back into running since my baby, my second baby, and I'm finding it a bit of a struggle to run the full distance. So what I'm doing at the moment is running for 3 minutes and walking for 2 minutes. And I absolutely love this function on this phone because it will beep every time I need to start running or start walking. And so I don't keep needing to look at my watch or my phone the whole time to know if I've done 3 minutes or 2 minutes. It will just beep at me, which is brilliant. And you can edit, you can see there, you can edit the times that you want. So I obviously would hope that I'm going to up the running as the weeks go on. So if you go here, you can see change mode. So basic is literally just running. There's nothing to it. It won't tell you anything except, you know, you do your own, your start, your stop, and it's just, you know, as it says there. Run, walk, I've already showed you. Virtual pace is really good. It's just like having a pacer. So if you want to go at a certain pace, so say I know that I want to do 7 minutes per kilometre, I can put that in, and then it will beep if I'm dropping below it, and it will just kind of keep me on track. It's great for people who go out too fast or too slow, and you can really keep a good eye on it. Time, that's just if you're running to a time, so you can say, right, I want to run for 30 minutes. And in the same way, you can run to distance. So say, right, I want to run 5k. Tell me when I've done 5k. And again, with calories, I want to burn, say, 300 calories. So those are all the run modes. I'm going to stick it back onto run walk because that's what I like. So HR alert, that's to do with heart rate. I don't have the heart rate strap, so I think that just alerts you when you get to a certain heart rate. Yeah, so if you kind of want to know when you're getting into your different heart rate zones, then it will alert you. But as I said, I don't have the strap for that. And then use indoors. Now this is good, and I actually didn't realise I had it. So the first couple of times I went running on the treadmill, and I didn't know that I could actually really use the watch. So it's real good. So you can see that I don't have, it's turned GPS off, but I can still stop. So it will still record my run for me. And what it does is it works out the kilometres that you've run using the same way it does your steps. We have found it's not massively accurate. So obviously a treadmill is very accurate, and we have found that when we've used it, it's slightly out, probably by quite a few hundred metres. But it gives you a general idea of how fast you've gone. How far you've gone. But what's good is afterwards, if you know, say you ran 5k on a treadmill and it came up on your watch as, I don't know, 5.3, you can actually then go in and edit it on your computer so that you know that you've got the accurate information. But it's good, like you can still use it when you're on the treadmill and have your run on there. So what I'm going to show you now is all the different functions. So history, really it will show you the runs, your steps and your records. So if you see, when was my last run? I last ran on Monday at 7:15. It will give you my stats for that. And it will give you what my daily steps were. So what did I walk on Tuesday? You can see I did 5,325, and that was my goal, and my distance and how many calories I'd burnt. Now, one thing I would say in my defence to do with the steps is that I have found when I'm pushing the buggy, it doesn't pick up the steps as much. So, which is really annoying. I guess I'm not moving my hand in the right way. So I found if I'm walking with someone else, I'll get them to wear my watch so that they pick up the amount of steps accurately. And it is annoying because most of the steps I do are with my buggy, but it gives me a good idea, you know, and I kind of know, okay, well, actually I've done an extra 1,000 than I think. So that is a disadvantage if you are going to be wearing it, pushing a buggy, or I guess a trolley as well. And then my records there are my fastest 1k, my fastest mile, my fastest 5k, and my longest run. So as I said, I haven't had this watch very long, and I've only just got back into running, so there's nothing too fast in there. So then you go to settings. So run settings. Again, you can set your laps, you can set it if you want it to auto pause when you stop. You can set your data field, so what you can see on each page. So when you're running, you've got 2 pages, and you can see whether you want your time, your pace, your distance, your calories, or what comes up on that, and you can actually choose that in data fields. Pace speed is if you want to see either your pace or your speed. It shows you which one you'd prefer. So that's, you know, kilometers per hour or minutes per kilometer. So that's all your settings. Then alarm, well, that's pretty straightforward. Activity tracker. So this is where if you have a it will tell you if you're not moving. So if you've been still a certain amount, you can set it to how long you don't want to be still for, and it will actually come up and say move. I'm not particularly keen on this. It's told me to move when I've been on the toilet a couple of times, which seems a bit silly. And also kind of if I'm not moving, it's because, you know, I'm doing something. It probably is quite a good thing maybe if you work in an office and you need to remember to move because you're kind of engrossed in things, but it's usually I'm doing something with the kids and I just can't move. Bluetooth, that's just whether you turn on your Bluetooth or not, if you want to sync it with your phone. And user profile's just got all my details like my height and my weight and that, and which is what they use to work out lots of, you know, the information like your calories and things. System, it's pretty straightforward. Language, time, your tones, your unit. So do you want it in kilometers or miles? System update and about. That's nothing too exciting. So that's everything there in settings. And then back round to the front page. You can see it's pretty basic, but it does have everything you need if you're just a basic runner. And you just want something to keep track of your runs. Just maybe if you are doing a little bit of walk run, that's really helpful if you want to track your heart rate. You know, I know with my husband, he runs marathons. He's got something that is a bit, you know, has a bit more bells and whistles, but he needs that sort of thing because he is doing so much more. He does so much more training. But for me, this is absolutely great. And what I've really found with it is that I've stopped using my smartwatch. Oh, one of the things I haven't shown you here is that if this is, so you can see I haven't got my Bluetooth on. If I have my Bluetooth on, which I can do, it will link to my phone and then my notifications can come up. So it will, you know, if I get a WhatsApp or a call, it will actually come up and show me that I've got that. Now, it's really, it's quite straightforward. So you can't like respond on it or anything like that. So like say with a proper smartwatch, it's pretty basic, but it is quite nice, you know, just to have that functionality, just to see, you know, if you're running, you can just see a message come up. Yeah, I have found I just have stopped using my smartwatch because I just don't really need it. I want to track my steps. I like everything going on my Garmin. You know, it doesn't look as nice as my smartwatch. It doesn't look as nice as, say, a normal kind of, you know, analog watch. And I'd say, and it annoys me that it's not picking it up correctly when I'm pushing a buggy. But other than that, I've found it really good. You know, it's around £100. It's, you know, it's not cheap, but it's affordable. And it's just really changed. I get really excited. I come back from a run and I really, you know, want to see how far I've run and what I've done. So, you know, kind of it just makes running a bit more interesting. One of the things I haven't shown you here is at the moment is on Garmin Connect, so what you can actually see when you hook it up to your phone or to your computer. But what I'll do is I'll do some screenshots and I'll probably do a little voiceover just to show you what you can do. All pretty much, I think now all the Garmin watches do connect to Garmin Connect. And they connect up to that on your phone and your computer, and then that's where you can view like everything about all your tracking history. So I think you can probably find far better YouTube videos about that sort of thing, but I will kind of give you just a quick overview and show you just with the screenshots. Oh, and the other thing probably to show you is the charger, so you can see that you just click chargers. like that. You just clip it in. It's really simple. I know different versions of the Garmin have been absolutely terrible with the charger. My husband's like been beside himself with one of them that just never properly connected to the to the computer because the connections on the actual charger were so poor. But again, so that's actually charging a watch, but you can just use Bluetooth to upload and sync all of your details. So I hope that's been helpful. I will cut to some screenshots now of the Garmin Connect. So this is the activity page for Garmin Connect, and as you can see, it's got all the information from my runs, and you can customize it loads. So those are the what I've chosen to have as the stats, but there's a whole host of things. And if you've got like a golf watch, you can have golf things and swimming and all sorts of other things. So this is really good. You can edit everything in here, and it's brilliant, and you can click into each of those activities and see your map of where you've run and all sorts of interesting information about it. And here on Garmin Connect is a pretty cute screen. It has all your personal records, so your best 5k, your best 1k, and various badges that you've achieved. Things like, if you've reached double goal of your steps on the day, or how, your total number of steps. So that's just a really, just an example of one of the many functions that you can find on Garmin Connect. And here's another screenshot. It's just trying to show you the sidebar, and I know I couldn't get the whole thing in, but of all the different things you can see, like the activities and the badges and your sleep and your records, and all sorts of other things. So there's really tons that you can see, and you can see Garmin Connect on both your phone, like a much smaller version on your phone, but also on your PC. But as I said before, there's probably loads of YouTube videos that give you more detail about this. So thank you very much for watching my video today. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. And one of the things I forgot to say is that this watch is around £100 to about £130, depending on where you see it. I have got a link in the comments below to John Lewis where you can buy it, which should give you, you can click through and actually see just a bit more about the spec. But there are plenty of different places where you can buy it from. And thank you very much. And if you like my video, give me the thumbs up. And if you would like to subscribe to see more videos, thanks a lot. Bye.